Hello, beautiful people, and thank you for joining me. I'm Cheryl, and this is Your Journey Yoga. I hope that wherever you are in your day, it's been fabulous so far, and I just thank you for taking some time for yourself and choosing to spend some time with me to do that. Little TLC, little self-care, and today, a little bit of fun, a little bit of extra zing today. We're going to be working with some weights in our yoga practice today. If you don't happen to have weights, it is absolutely fine. We can still just do body weight, and I'll give you those options as we move through. If you do have weights, we want to make sure that those weights, if you're on hardwood floor or on tile, something that the weights can move, you want to make sure that the weights have a flat side, and that flat side stays against the floor. If you're on carpet, those round weights seem to do just fine. I just want you to be really safe and make sure that the weights aren't going to roll out from underneath you. At any point, you can always just bring the hand, if it's on the weight, onto the mat, and then work with the weight on the other side. Always a great option. So taking care, making sure you've got water handy, a smile on your face. Hopefully this is going to be really fun for you guys. Challenging, but fun. I would say light weights. So there is no need to go really big and heavy on this because they'll add up, guys. So I would say 1 to 8 pounds, 8 pounds max. I've got 5 pounds here, so just kind of whatever floats your boat, okay? And you can always set them aside. So that's one of the beautiful things is if you're like, yeah, I'm not feeling the weights, or if it's just, wow, I grabbed too heavy of a weight today, it's all good. Put me on pause, go grab some different weights. If you don't have different weights, just put the weights down, okay? All right, you guys, we're gonna warm up first and then we'll get into it. So sitting nice and tall, cross-legged position if that feels okay to you. Bring your hands to the shins, just below those knees. Take a big breath in, press the chest forward, arch your back, gaze to the sky. Oh, and then exhale, hollow. Seated cat and cow, great way. Just moving through the body, articulating those vertebrae one at a time. Inhale, press it through. Exhale and hollow. Great way to just check in. To get that back moving, to get the blood flowing, let's do one more, press it through, and then exhale, hollow. How are you today? Inhaling it up nice and tall, hopefully fantastic. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, pull those elbows back, squeeze those shoulder blades, spread your fingers wide. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, cactus arms, squeeze those shoulder blades, squeeze the elbows, close your eyes. Inhale, reach to the sky. Let's do that once more. Exhale and pull. Inhale, reach to the sky. As you exhale, release that right hand down, left arm up and over, and we're just gonna sway side to side. Inhaling it up, reach to the sky. Exhaling it up and over. Just seeing how we're doing here. Inhale, reach. Let's do one more each side. Exhale up and over. These lateral movements, guys, so important. Keeping that spine healthy. Inhale, reach to the sky. You might notice some little cracks and pops along the way. As long as there's no pain, it's all good. Inhale, reach to the sky. Both arms come up. Exhale, rotate to the right. Bringing that left hand to the top of the thigh. Right hand behind you. Sit up as tall as you can sit. Turn and take your gaze out over that back shoulder. And just breathe. Little tuck of your chin down towards that right collarbone. Inhale, reach to the sky, turn back to face front. And as you exhale, rotate to the left. Right hand to the top of the thigh, left hand behind. Sit up as tall as you can sit. Turn and take your gaze out over that back shoulder. So as we check in, if you notice, maybe there's a part of your body that's like, hey, I need a little extra love today. Is that love extra breath? A little more movement or a little less? Or is it coming out of the pose altogether? Inhale, reach to the sky, turn back to face front. Pull those hands to heart center and let's walk those hands out. Just releasing the weight of the upper body down. Walking it out and just let yourself melt. Some days holding on to a little extra tension than others.
Know that it's all part of life, guys. It's all part of the journey. We show ourselves grace when we need it on those days when it's a little more challenging. Inhale, circle the hands back by the hips. Big circle of those arms up and over. Reach to the sky. Pull the hands behind your head, elbows wide. And as you exhale, gently pull the chin towards your chest. Nice big deep breaths. Inhale, head up nice and tall, elbows wide. Gently release the weight of the head back into the hands. And just kind of wiggle those shoulders, nestle those shoulder blades down. Let your head be heavy. And once again, lifting the head up nice and tall, gently pull the chin towards the chest. Big deep breaths. And inhale, head up nice and tall. Release your hands. Let's come forward and up onto all fours. So wherever your weights are, if you've got your weights, let's just take them so they're kind of right along the outside edge of your mat. And again, making sure that if you've got that flat side of your weight, it'll kind of roll to that flat side all on its own. But we just want to make sure that it actually goes there, okay? So making sure we don't roll over off of those weights. And again, at any point, if you're feeling like, wow, I don't like this feeling, just bring your other hand down, okay? So we're gonna do our cat and cow here. We just did it seated, a little different now that we've got gravity pulling the tummy towards the floor as you lift your gaze and your sit bones to the sky. And then exhale, hollow the tummy and chest, lift your spine, tuck your chin. Let's do 2 more. Since we already did a couple, just a few here. And just noticing that different sensation as gravity is pulling the belly towards the ground, and then as you hollow, lifting that spine. So a little more activation for the muscles, maybe a little more range of motion in that arc of the back. And we come back to a neutral spine. Core is strong. We're gonna grab one or both weights. So again, if you're not comfortable being on that weight with that left hand is just to the mat. We're gonna pull that right arm straight up. Extend it back, in and down. Again, up, back, in and down. So we get that tricep extension. These guys will help us with our crocodiles. Breathe, keeping that core strong, keeping that tabletop position. So if you're not on that left weight, hand is just flat on the mat, or you can make a fist. So you're resting on your knuckles. If the wrist doesn't really love that, let's do 2 more. Up, out, in, and down. 1 more. Up, out, in, and down. So you can either stay on that weight or you can roll that weight to the side and we take it to that left hand. Pull it up. Extend it out, pull it in and down, up, extend, in and down, and make sure that that right hand is right below the shoulder. Breathe, keeping that core strong so that we're not sagging through the back, arching the back, pulling that elbow right up by the rib cage, and then just fully extending that arm, feeling that activation in the tricep. Let's do 2 more. And last one. We're gonna go back to that right arm. So again, that left hand can be on the mat. And we're gonna go straight out to the side, about shoulder height, and back down. Extend. So you can leave that weight down because this is pretty intense for the shoulders. And down, keeping that core strong, keeping the rest of the body stable. So you're gonna notice that you might kind of wanna turn and open the chest. We wanna keep that chest facing the ground. And breathe, activating the back of the shoulder. That middle and upper back. Making sure you're not arching that back. Last one. And either set that weight aside or we're on that weight. Hand right below the shoulder, left arm extends straight out and down, out and down, lifting out of that right shoulder. So we're just coming up to shoulder height. It can be lower. So if your range of motion is kind of that bottom half, that's okay, guys. It's about activation, and it's working, creating the movement rather than using momentum. So it's the controlling the up and the down. Last one. Nice job. Set those weights narrow or wide so that you can sit it back to child's pose. And just take a moment. Checking in, knees can be together or apart. Just let your body sink. As you're ready, extend those arms out nice and long, hands shoulder width apart. Let's lift the forehead. We're going to place those weights right up at the top corners of our mat. Hands are shoulder width apart. We tuck our toes. Press and lift your hips to the sky. Up to downward facing dog. So we just want to make sure that those weights are off to the side, out of the way. And let's gently alternate bending knees. Find your breath. As you exhale, let both heels gently sink. Taking the gaze between your hands, walk your feet in to forward fold. And relax the weight of the upper body down. Arms are heavy. Knees are softly bent. Head is heavy. We bring the hands to the elbows and hold on. Let's gently sway side to side. And we come back to center, releasing the arms. Slowly lower the bottom down, coming into a nice tight little squat. We're going to reach down and take a hold of those weights. Chest is tall. We press through our heels as we rise. Using those legs rather than the back. Let's slowly bend. Allowing gravity to pull those weights down. And we rise. So keeping the weight in those heels. Keeping the chest tall. Coming as low as feels right to you. And then we rise. Now we're going to activate through those arms too. So we're going to slowly lower. As you rise, bicep curl. And then pressing straight overhead. Bringing the hands back down and release, sink, and rise, bicep curl, overhead press, back to the shoulders, and release. Again, keeping those toes lifted, keeping that chest tall, bicep curl, press it overhead, back to the shoulders, and release. Sink and rise, bicep curl, press it overhead, back to the shoulders and release it down. Let's do that one more time. Squatting down, rising up, bicep curl, press it overhead, stay tall, lower those arms down by your sides, keeping those arms as straight as you can. And inhale, lift those arms. As those dumbbells touch or your arms are overhead, shift your weight forward, lift your heels. Rise. Now let's do that same thing. Lower those arms, keeping those heels high. Down by your sides. And then reach. As those weights touch or your arms are overhead, sink back to your heels, weight into those heels. Lower the arms. Lift those arms. As the arms are overhead, shift your weight forward. Lift your heels. High as you can get those heels. Stay high. Lower the arms. And lift those arms. And sink back to the heels. We're going to do that one more time each. Lower the arms. Slow and controlled. Feel that pull of gravity and you're resisting it. Lift those arms. Feel that pull of gravity. Working against it. As those arms come to the sky, shift your weight forward. Lift those heels. Strong through the belly, lower those arms. Heels remain high. Use a focal point out in front. Inhale, lift. Reach those arms overhead. And exhale, sink. Pull the hands right in front of the shoulders. Palms are facing towards you. Sit it into chair. Now those big toes are not touching, nor are the knees. And we're going to extend the arms out and pull it back in. Extend the arms out and pull it back in. Extend and pull. So we're working biceps, triceps, shoulders, upper back, core, and legs. We're getting it all, you guys. And bring it in one more time. Extend it out and pull it in and rise. Release your hands down by your sides. Let's do 5 shoulder shrugs. These just feel good. Rolling those shoulders up and back. It all feels good. Some of it's just more challenging than others. Last one. And shift your weight to your left foot. Right knee lifts. Breathe. Let's bring that knee to 90 degrees and flex the foot. Find your breath. We're going to turn and face the palms towards the front, lifting those palms to the sky. And I want you to open up your palms. Just let the weights rest. Keeping that 90-degree bend, open the arms and bring them back to center. Open and close. Now we want to make sure that we're not popping open the rib cage, that we're staying tall through the crown of the head and keeping that core really engaged. Just opening and closing, keeping that 90 degrees, and breathe. So we've got a constant tension on the biceps. We're internally and externally rotating through the shoulders. We're working those hip flexors and those quads. You guys multitasking. Amazing. Bring it back to center. Hold that 90. Release your right foot. Lift your left. Create that 90 degrees with the leg. Keep that 90 degrees with the arms. Open and close. And again, as you start to fatigue, make sure you're not popping open that rib cage, really arching your back. We want to stay tall and that nice neutral spine. How are you doing, my friends? You look good. Nice work. Just opening and closing. You guys feel those arms yet? Yes, indeed. Breathe. Let's do one more. Bring it back to center. Release those arms. Shoulder shrug. Keeping that left leg up. Let's pull the hands to the shoulders and take a giant step back with your left foot. We're coming into a crescent lunge. So bringing that back knee down if you like. Otherwise, knee stays off. If the knee is coming down, top of the foot's on the mat. And when I say straighten the leg, you do the same thing. So you can have that back knee down or off. You decide what's right for your body. So as you inhale, extend and press and sink. And press and sink. Palms stay facing towards one another. And we just lower those hands down to about shoulder height. Elbows stay fairly narrow. They're going to want to press out. Breathe. Really waking up that body, you guys. Staying strong through that core. We've got 3 more. Find your breath. And 1 more on this side. Stay low in that lunge. Tuck the back toes, lift that back knee, and we're going to draw that back foot in. Release the arms. Ooh, that was a big step. Roll those shoulders up and back. And again. And 1 more time. Shift your weight to your left foot. Right knee lifts. Bring those hands to shoulder height and take a giant step back with that right foot. Back knee can come down if you like. Hip flexor. My right hip flexor needs some love. Breathe.
On your exhale this time, press it up. And inhale, sink. So the breath is a little different if you're like, I don't even know what I was doing last time. It's okay. Just keep breathing. But as you exhale on that press, that work phase, do you feel a little extra power? Exhale and press it up. Inhale and sink. So a light grip on those weights, guys, not a death grip. Elbows stay narrow. Breath stays slow and steady. Let's do 2 more. Breathe. Last one. And back knee off the mat. Giant step forward. Arms come down. Nice job. Shoulder shrug. And one more. And I'm going to step back just a little bit. If you've got a wall in front of you, yes, feel free to step back. So we're going to bring those hands right in front of the thighs. And we're going to pretend like we're shaving our legs. So those weights are going to come right next to those legs. The weights slide down the front, coming down to the point where you feel this really nice stretch through the hamstrings and the glutes. And then slowly rise. Roll the shoulders up and back. Reset. Hands come forward. We hinge, keeping a nice flat back, keeping the shoulders from rolling forward, gazing out towards the top of your mat. Hinge it back up and reset. Again, hands in front of the legs and begin to hinge. And rise. So really controlling that forward fold, reset. Hands to the front of the thighs, and we shave those legs. Activating those hamstrings and glutes as we rise, hinging back up. Let's do that one more time. Hands to the front of the thighs, hinge. Hands just slide right down the front of the legs. And we rise. Big shoulder roll up and back. Let's take it hinging forward. Nice flat back, soft bend in those knees. Turn your palms towards one another and just let those arms be heavy. Let gravity take the weight of the arms. Now this is a fairly intense exercise, so if you want to put those weights down, bend your knees and place the hands down, the weights. You want to keep those weights. We're going to alternate arms. One arm out to a T and come back down. Other arm out to a T and back down. So keeping those arms as straight as we can. Just alternating arms, just to about shoulder height. Doesn't have to be any higher. Breathe. Controlling, keeping the chest, the torso facing the ground. Breathe. So we're getting the benefit here of our airplane, of our forward fold, that length through the backs of the legs. And breathe. We're going to do 3 with both arms. Ready, set, go. Squeeze those shoulder blades and down. Squeeze and down. Last one. Squeeze and down and rise. Nice job. Roll those shoulders. You guys feel that blood flow? You feel that warm fuzziness going on in the body? You guys, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Turning back towards the front of your mat. This time, let's bring those big toes to touch. Little space between our heels. Inhale, reach to the sky, with or without those weights, and sink. Sink into your chair. Weight into those heels. Now, having those arms overhead, that is a lot. So making sure your back and your shoulders are in agreement with your decision. Otherwise, pull those hands down to the shoulders, or you can even rest those weights on your knees. We're going to do little pulses. Breathe. Four more pulses. And rise. Circle those arms to the back. Oh, yeah. and release it down. Bring your heels to touch. Let's squat down. Place those weights on either side of your mat and stand. Reach to the sky. Interlace your fingers, all but the index finger and thumb. And as you exhale, lean to the right. Squeeze those inner thighs. Use that right hand to pull that left arm. Breathe. Inhaling it up. Exhale, lean to the left. Squeeze those inner thighs. Roll that right shoulder back just a little bit. Inhale it up nice and tall. Pull those hands to heart center. Let's step those feet to hip width apart. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, swan dive to forward fold. Inhale up to monkey half lift. Exhale down, walk, step, or hop to high plank. No weights, just holding plank. Or if you like, 5 tricep push-ups. So this is about strength, right? It's about stretching. It's about activating muscles. It's about challenging ourselves. 2 more. Last one. Lift your hips to down dog. It's about finding our edge. You'll hear me use that term quite a bit. Finding your edge. It's that space where your body's not fighting, but you can feel that it's working. There's a space where your breath takes over and your body says, okay, I feel safe. I feel ready to let go, let down the guard, and be present right here. Adding a little tip of the pelvis, reaching your sit bones high. Let's inhale up to the balls of the feet. And as you exhale, press the chest and shoulders toward your thighs, reach your sit bones high. And as you exhale, let your heels gently sink. We sway our hips side to side. Breathe. And let's come back to center, and we're going to inhale it to high plank. Now we can have the knees down, or you can be up on your toes. We're going to alternate drawing in one knee and then the other. So if the knees are down, you can do the same thing. You're just going to need to lift your hips a little bit higher. If you're on your toes, work to stay flat. Just alternating knees in. Breathe. Almost there. Last one. Release your knees. Sit it back to child's pose. Checking in. Find your breath. Let's inhale slightly. Walk those hands. Inhale slightly. Lift slightly. Big inhale. Walk those hands over to the left. And just relax the weight of the upper body down. So a lot of different sensations, guys, as we add weights to some of those yoga poses. What's your verdict? Do you like it? Or not? And it's okay if not. Inhale, lift just slightly. Walking over those weights, reaching out with those left fingertips. Press your hips to the left and relax the weight of the upper body down. So just something different, a little challenge, mixing things up, making your body work, your brain work in a little different way. So even if you're working without the weights and it's just body weight, it's a different sensation as we were working at a different pace, using the breath, holding some of the movements while we worked the arms or the legs. Inhale, lift just slightly, walk your hands back through center, and sit it back to child's pose. And let's slowly walk our hands up. Come over onto one hip. Sweep your feet around
and slide on down towards the top of your mat. We're just going to take one weight, so go ahead and set your other weight off to the side. And we're going to take a hold of that weight, holding on to either side. And we're going to rock back, keeping those feet glued to the mat, knees right in line with those hips, leaning back to the point where your back says, it's okay, we're good. So if you need to stay up a little bit higher, that's okay. Leaning back as much as feels good to you, just a nice neutral spine. And we're going to rotate side to side. So just keeping the weight kind of out and away from your chest, but close to your chest. And just rock side to side. Now you can keep those feet down, or if you like, lift your feet. And we take it side to side. Now, if your lower back is saying, I don't know if this is a good idea, I want you to first really focus. Are you drawing that belly button in? Are you really engaged to the core? If your back is still saying, yeah, this isn't great, guys, put those feet back down and come a little higher, or just opt out. You can also just hold and lean back and come up. Lean back and come up, so letting go of that rotation. Let's do one more each side. And open those feet, reach to the sky, and then pull it back. Reach to the sky, sit up tall, and come back. Exhale, press it high, and bring it low. Press it high, and bring it low, keeping those feet wide. Press it high, and bring it low. Press it high, and bring it low. Press it high. Give it to one hand, set it aside. Place your hands to the tops of the shins or the top of the feet and just roll it forward. Let your head be heavy. Close your eyes. Relax your jaw. Starting at your tailbone, roll it up. One vertebra at a time. And let's extend that left leg out. Bring that right foot, cross it up and over the left leg. Wrapping the crook of that left elbow around the knee. Pull it in nice and tight. Sit up tall. Breathe. Extending right arm out. Lift it high. Circle it around. Bring your hand behind you. Sit as tall as you can sit. And then slowly turn and take your gaze out over that right shoulder. A little tuck of your chin down towards your right shoulder. Pulling that right knee in. Breathe. Releasing the knee, placing that left elbow to the top of the knee. Press against that knee and turn. Taking your gaze out over that right shoulder. A little deeper rotation. Making sure that that feels okay, sitting up nice and tall. We want to create space between those vertebrae before we rotate. Find that breath. Releasing that rotation. Extending that right leg out, left foot crossing. We wrap the crook of that right elbow around the knee, pull it in nice and tight. Add a flex of that right foot. Sit up as tall as you can sit. And breathe. Extending left arm out, lift it high, circle it all the way around behind you, hand to the mat, sit tall and turn and take your gaze out over that back shoulder, tucking your chin down towards your collarbone. And just notice if there's any resistance going on, guys. Noticing if there's a guard going on anywhere. Find your breath. And gently releasing that right elbow, placing that right elbow against the top of the knee. Press against the knee and work to bring your hands, fingertips towards the sky, bringing your gaze out over that left shoulder. Keeping that length in the sky, in the spine, guys, remember, it's about keeping that space between the vertebrae as you rotate so that we're not
twisting right on those vertebrae, but creating that space, keeping flexibility, making sure that those nerves just have a nice clean path. Breathe. And gently release. Extending left leg out, flex your feet, reach to the sky, lengthen, hinge it forward. Releasing your hands, relaxing the weight of the upper body down. So guys, doing your best, never to judge, to be present in wherever you are today in your practice. Some days are better than others. Guys, I'm holding on to all kinds of tension today. I had my son put me through one of his workouts, 16-year-old kid. And my back is like, hey lady, what'd you do? So I just kind of have to giggle and be like, okay, this is why I do my own thing, and I don't think I'm a 16-year-old kid. So if you've done some things, changed up your routine, done some things out of the ordinary, and your body is like, hello, guys, show yourself some grace. Laugh about it. Do what you can do. Be kind. And just ever so slowly start to stack those vertebrae one at a time. Change is good. Shaking things up, right? Inhale, reach to the sky. Soften those feet. Core is strong, and ever so slowly lower yourself back. It just makes me giggle. That kid can have 27 tacos, 10 waffles. Pulling that right knee in. Right arm extends out to a T. Left hand to the outside of the right knee. And pull your leg across your body. And he just happy as can be. Body just adapts, uses all that energy. Turn and take your gaze out over that right arm. I always laugh, making him extra food at 10 o'clock at night because he's starving. I ought to be 16 again. Just kidding. I'm happy where I am. Wouldn't trade it. Celebrate life, you guys, wherever you are today. It's a gift. Rolling back to center. Extending that right leg to the sky. Point your toes, lengthen your leg, little external rotation through that hip. And slowly lower your leg down. And allow it to come to rest. Left knee comes in, left arm extends out to a T, right hand to the outside of the left knee, and gently pull it across. Turning and taking your gaze out over that left arm. And just breathe. So anytime, guys, let me know what you're thinking. If there's anything special that you would really love, throw it out there for me. Let's see what I can do. I'm here for you guys, so whatever I can do to make life a little better, happy to do. Releasing that right hand, rolling back to center. Extending that left leg to the sky. Point your toes, lengthen your leg, little external rotation through that hip. Lengthen through those toes and slowly lower your leg down. As your heel touches, let's pull that right foot in by your bottom and then your left. Hands down by your sides, palms to the mat. Feet are hip width apart, right up by your bum. Tuck the pelvis so that the small of the back is pressing into the mat, and slowly begin to lift your hips up off the sky, or towards the sky, up off the floor. Squeeze those buns, peel each vertebra off the mat one at a time, coming all the way up to our bridge pose. Now we're just going to alternate lifting a heel. How does that feel? Can you feel the different activations in the muscles? And breathe.
One more time, left heel lifts. We're going to rock back to our heels and lift those toes. See if you can press and lift those hips even higher. Release the toes, lift the heels. Can you lift any higher? Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze those buns. Release your heels, and ever so slowly lower it back down. One vertebra at a time. So your bottom is the very last to touch. And let's open up those feet just a little bit wider than the width of your mat. Hands rest on your hips, and we're going to draw that right knee towards the inside, rolling to the instep of that right knee. Keeping that right sit bone connected to the earth and just feeling that great stretch in that right hip, across your IT band, into that lower back. Just making sure there's no bad energy going on in the knee or the ankle, the lower back, the hip. This should feel really good, guys. No pain. And gently release. And we draw that left knee towards the inside. Just using the strength of the inner thigh to draw that knee down. Does it feel differently on this side than it did the other side? Probably. And it's just fine. Just experience it for what it is right here today. And gently release, drawing one knee in towards your chest, and then the other, hands to your shins just below those knees. Pull it in nice and tight, and gently rock side to side. And coming back to center, hands behind your thighs, little rocks, forward and back, a little bit bigger, until we rock ourselves up. Soles of the feet come together, fold forward to butterfly. Feet can be in nice and close or out and away. Breathe, let your head be heavy, just checking in. Starting at your tailbone, rolling it on up. Sitting up nice and tall, and find a comfortable place, a seated position that feels good to you. Rest your hands comfortably. Sit up nice and tall, close your eyes. We relax the shoulders, and we take just a moment, thanking our bodies, our minds, our breath, for taking this journey today, for being willing to play, to explore, to try something new, different. Even if it wasn't your most favorite, why? Is it just because it was different, or because it was challenging? The more we practice those things that are uncomfortable, the less uncomfortable they become. The gentle agitation helps make us stronger. Those windy days, the stormy days, metaphorically, my friends, help us learn about ourselves, help us adapt, to grow, to become stronger. If we just live in that comfortable little bubble all the time, we lose that ability to adapt, to grow, to keep getting stronger. That gentle agitation, guys, helps us become better, stronger, faster, wiser. I celebrate you. I celebrate life. I choose
choose to celebrate today. May you choose the same. Let's gently open the eyes, take a big breath in, reach to the sky, and exhale, pull the hands to heart center. You're amazing. You're awesome. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. I hope that was fun, at least a little bit. I hope it made you smile. You can just say, whew, I'm glad that's done. Check it off the list today. Be well, my friends. Self-care. Love it. Until the next time, light and love to each and every one of you. Until then, namaste.